Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Roll for Damage, where a group of us geeky friends decided to get together and showcase our storytelling through Dungeons and Dragons for. Oh shit. Sorry, I had my stream open and I started talking. Thankfully, I had the main audio off. Through Dungeons and Dragons for all of the interwebs. We're back. One quick announcement. I just wanted to give a shout out because we were lucky to have Chad and Laura, two of our previous players from Campaign 1, back to help us with overlays and graphics, as well as the distribution of our episodes. So a big thank you to them for their help and support. And please keep an eye out over the next little while as their creative juices begin to flow and we start to see updates to some of these layouts and stuff like that I'm an engineer. I'm not a designer. I have zero art skills. So I did my best based on Laura's old designs to make these, and they're okay, but she can do a much better job than I can. So yeah, keep an eye out for all of that stuff over the next little while. We'll have updates to our character cards and our layouts and everything like that. So a big thank you to them for jumping in and helping us after taking a little break. And I think with that, let's jump into tonight's session of Roll for Damage.
A door opens, adventure awaits your creation. Each person plays a part, abilities to lay the foundation, setting the stage for everything to start. Classes, they help define a role, and for choices are what finalize the building session 0. Integrates the character and begins a new destiny to be fulfilled. This is your moment to capture. Your fate is hinged on a bet. Release the dice and charge forward. This game is not a game, so now you'll play your life. The table is set. This is your moment. Take control. It's critical. The final curtain is rising. The world's forever changed. A story made for the ages. All the lost experience and friends for every table is the future laid out before you. One you will never forget. This group of friends that support you. Come on, answer the call. Don't freeze until the table is set.
Okay, let me get everything set up here. Just gonna add some lovely music. Let's do this. Okay. So, last we left off, the group had extricated themselves from the ruins and managed to survive the chase, only to be whisked away after seeing the darkness begin to permeate the environment and overtake everything across the lands of Aotania. They were taken back quickly to Avonhurst Rise, where they were swept up in a cacophony of motion in which they needed to help bolster defenses of the city that they were currently in and help their allies, Lexaturna, deal with the fallout of everything that had happened. once they were able to find some semblance of normalcy in these new times, and the cities had established sort of these barriers of light that would allow the normal view of the night and day sky to show within these cities, and prevent these creatures that now roam the darkness from encroaching upon their peace. They were informed that they had a month if they wished to come and take part in the mourning process and tribute to those lost that day when the ruins were broken, the shackles were broken, and also pay respect to Lex, who they also lost. The group used their month to reflect and learn and attempt to try to understand everything that has been happening to them over these past months. They were given a manor by Lux Eterna with which to house their possessions and have sort of a home base. And each of them did what they needed to do to find some routine in the crazy. Eventually, all heading to Sunshield City through means of teleport by Fulton of Lux Eterna, taking part in this ceremony for all lost, hearing from the prince of the Veladonian empire or kingdom, and Aaron as well, paying their respects, making their toasts to their friend, and eventually meeting up with Lux Eterna at Aaron's manor to the surprise visit from some of the gods themselves, some of the creators, and one of the destroyers. And finally, from Bahamut, Corlin, and Pelor, were informed of exactly how Aotania got to this place, that Tharizdun is not inherently evil, but has been going mad, being locked away as he merged with Ao, the creator, and they have been stagnant below in the abyss, unable to perpetuate their main directive, which, if allowed to do so now, given there's no creator, would just cause destruction upon the universe. But that this was the original schism between the creators and destroyers when they decided to seal this new form of Tharizdun rather than attempt to split Ao and Tharizdun apart once more. The group dumped with all of this information, told that only mortals are able to perform the rituals required to either seal, reseal, with the help of the gods and their power, but they cannot physically go there themselves the same way, or decide to split these entities apart to whatever degree and whatever final actions that causes. It's their choice. It's their realm, and the gods will not make the decision for them. They agreed to work with Lux Eterna to work out the rituals and requirements for each of these chosen rituals, while the six spend time growing in power and gathering more artifacts so that they will be prepared to face off against either one of these potential paths if they choose to in the future. One, requiring them to defeat all 10 of the generals of Tharizdun, which is no small undertaking in itself. The other also facing down the god to perform the ritual and going through the darkness to get there. The gods present, who had available artifacts that they felt were useful to this group, provided a few offerings, gave them a bit of information, and told the group when they are ready, they can entreat with them and talk more to get a bit more information if necessary, but that there are many, many more artifacts scattered throughout the cosmos that could potentially be useful. They just need to find the information or speak to the deities themselves that have created them. And with that, the group exited the manor to begin to digest the information that they were given and figure out how they wanted to proceed. And that is where we pick up. So, my lovely adventurers, where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Well, looks like it's up to us to save the world. Just, the group of 6 of us, of course, that would be the case. Let's go see the king. Let's just add the cherry on top.
What's the worst that can happen, right?
Let's go see the king, yes.
Heavy source this information as we do have to go see him, yes.
I have a headache.
Yeah, I don't believe that just happened.
What?
What?
I guess we just met some gods. King seems less intimidating by comparison.
As long as you all come with me, I think we'll be all right. Give it a go. I don't think it'll be too painful. They did pardon me.
For the meantime.
They didn't really pardon you so much as they gave you a stay of judgment.
Fair.
It's not the same thing as forgiveness. It's more like, not right now, we're not going to put you in stocks, but you should be fine.
You're not helping me.
You should be fine. Let's go. Let's not worry about it. Let's go.
Well, look at it this way. If we save the world, then great. They'll probably pardon you. But if not, then we'll just die.
Good point.
It's only really a problem if you get caught.
Yeah.
We are in such a perfect condition to go meet the king. We are so frazzled. Let's go.
Maybe you can bribe him with scones.
Or poison? No.
I am a wonderful cook. Yes.
The scones are pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
They're very good. Let's go. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's go.
All right.
So we're gonna. Okay.
Probably not the best choice we're gonna make, but let's go out with a big bang at the beginning.
Go see the king.
All right. It is still lightly raining, a bit later in the afternoon at this point, but as you all make your way to the palace, you end up walking through this wide open courtyard made for welcoming mass crowds to applaud, most of the time those honored by the crown. Zavrin, you know that this is named the Blessed Courtyard. And you know that over on the northern side, and you all see this, of the courtyard are the blossoming groves. It was an area that was a favorite of the late Queen Arya. The gardens themselves are well maintained with carefully placed topiary, sculptures, and other flora. Directly ahead of you is Justice Pride, a small rocky mountain located in the center of the city with which it is built upon, and it's where the Platinum Protectorate, the palace, is carved from. Situated right in the center of the capital, this is the main palace of the royal Justicar dynasty. As you head towards the main gates, you see heavily armored knights standing guard, while sentries above on the tower walls look down with ballista at the ready just in case.
Well, this looks inviting.
Were we given like a seal or something to like present to show that we're here to see the king?
Nope.
We were not. No.
They know that I'm coming.
We were told to come here.
Was it Vezrin that said we have to come, or Gawain? It was Vezrin, right?
It was Vezrin. You never spoke to
Yeah.
Gawain. Gawain was Gawain is the prince.
Right. Okay.
You never directly spoke to
Approach the
prince.
guards to gain entry. Okay. Hello there. If I may, I'd like to speak with the king. It's Artemis. I've got some things to discuss with him.
Artemis. Look, they kind of look you over for a minute. Who are you all?
We're the Salty Six, sent by Vezrin, or summoned by Vezrin, I suppose.
All these things.
Not
Go
wrong.
ahead and make a persuasion for me, Zavrin.
Hey, that's where I'm a Viking.
So we agreed upon Lexus 6?
Natural 20 for a
Ooh.
29.
I thought
Um,
we were the Guardian 6.
The guard just nods for a second, turns to the other and says, take post. And he turns to you. I'll be right back just to check this information. Give me a moment.
The Salty Six?
Don't dilly-dally, the king is waiting.
The Salty Six?
I don't think we signed off on that.
I thought it was the 5 tall people and the little 6.
I thought we were the Star-Crossed Six.
It was
I
either
thought
that
we
or the
agreed
Sexy
on
Six.
Navari and the 5.
No,
We are not sidekicks, first of all. Well,
we were the 6 chords. Now we are Lexus 6.
Is that true? I don't know that we decided on it. We have to have another team meeting about this.
Lex 6?
And at this point, the guard comes back and nods. He says, yes, I see here that you do have an appointment. Well, not an appointment so much as you were requested. Please, follow me. I will take you inside. And you watch him bang on the ground with his halberd, and you start to hear the as the gates begin to open inward to allow you to walk through. And as you follow this guard, you see another open courtyard within the palace with various members of the military and state milling about, heading in all different directions or training. You continue up this pathway and are brought up to this massive archway that leads to the main doors of the palace. Large white marble doors open in front of you into a white and gold etched foyer with a large crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling. There are statues of various members of the dynasty as well as suits of armor situated throughout the room, and the guard takes you and leads you off to a room down the left-hand hall. He brings you into a room with various chairs and a table, a couple of art pieces and busts within the room, but he allows you all entrance and then says, please wait here. I will make your presence known for the court and make sure that they are ready to receive you, and I will be back shortly. Please don't go anywhere. And then we'll shut the door on you, and you hear his footsteps lead out down the hallway.
Does anybody have a booster seat? I feel rather small.
Just sit on the table, and I think Navari will just like pull a chair back and then boom, boots up on the table.
Okay.
So, are we in a parlor right now?
Yeah, kind of like like a sort of a
sitting room?
waiting a sitting room. Yeah, a waiting room.
Okay.
But fairly comfortable. There's nothing that seems nefarious about it. Just a place for
Okay.
sort of guests to wait. And you would know, just having lived in this city and been here and just knowing the kingdom, like this is standard. Like generally the king has appointments all day or things to discuss with his council or statesmen, or military commanders or whatnot. And you guys just showing up, whether it was a request or not, the business kind of has to be finished before they can come and let you in and make sure that you're seen to accordingly. So it's just a place where people who are waiting to have an audience in the throne room will kind of be held until the king is calls them in.
Okay. While we're waiting, I'll just ritually cast Detect Magic, just for fun.
Okay.
Never hurts.
Yep, you are able to do so. And
Have they not picked this up yet?
Pardon?
Have they not picked this up in those 10 minutes?
No, yeah, it's gonna take a bit. Probably by the end of the time that you cast, maybe another couple of minutes after that.
Okay.
So if there's anything you want to do within those 10 minutes specifically, let me know. Otherwise, I can fast forward. But
yeah, Artemis is gonna cast. Let's see if I have it prepared. I want to say enhance ability for charisma checks. I want to have advantage on those. I think that would be the time to utilize that spell.
Oh, I will say, Oriana and Zavrin, you have zero access to your magic right now. You can feel disconnected. You feel completely disconnected from it.
So naked.
So, Artemis, why are we all here again?
As we were told.
I'll tell you what happened. I happened to hurt some people, the mage hunters, and they were not happy. The mage hunters are from Sunshield City. Nimran knows this. His father was one. And I was searching for my mother, and they knew where she was, and I didn't ask nicely. And now they're here to tell me that I should ask nicely. It'll be no problem. We'll be fine.
I thought we were here because of Zavrin. Am I wrong on that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. All Zavrin. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and so you were in trouble and decided to walk right into the castle?
He was told he was not in trouble temporarily.
It's a show of good faith.
They would have caught us before we left.
I must confess for my sins.
I mean,
Just don't do anything illegal while you're here.
He's still
You should
alive.
be fine.
Avoid the temptation to release a war criminal.
Yeah, it can't be any worse. It was kind of worse.
Yeah.
Well, a little
You're
bit
saying
worse.
don't do what Oriana did? Okay.
The war criminal's still alive, though.
Yeah, that's very
We'll find him, but he's not
Not for
the
long.
biggest problem.
I really appreciate y'all coming and supporting me. It feels
got you.
much better with you here. Navari, you make me a little easy with your, quick stabby stabs. But I think we'll be all right if everyone stays calm and supports. Just no spells, nothing, no tomfoolery. Just be real nice to him and show respect. That's what I plan to do.
Oh, trust me, no spells here, and I'll try to flick my wrist like a spell and just watch.
Yeah.
Mage hand. Oh,
Well, that's
Well.
unfortunate.
And you all know I'm not one for fanciful etiquette of royalty and such, but I do know how we're supposed to greet this king? Question to the DM?
Yeah, you would know. Your family is who they were. So you would definitely know that a king is addressed as Your Majesty. There is a proper show of deference to him in the throne room. And that's about it. It's obviously just respect. You will be given an opportunity to speak and then also give respect back to the king for him to say his piece, basically.
I know if it was like a bow, a handshake, a hop on one foot,
Yeah,
or tapping your head and
is
rubbing your belly
yeah.
thing.
No, just a gentle bow, and when you address the king, it's Your Majesty. If it's the prince, it's Your Highness.
Is that
In
the actual
what?
hierarchy?
It is actually in any kind of like dynasty or empire. Majesty is for the person actually leading. Highness is generally for like the family members that are not the main ruler. Yep.
Okay.
So
D&D educational.
in light,
Majesty. We'll practice. Your Majesty. Am I saying it right?
close enough.
Your
So,
Majesty.
He'll look at Navari's boots and go, so in light of our friend here requiring the best graces of the king, and he'll look now at Artemis, we probably should exercise some higher level of decorum than we're used to.
Navari rolls her eyes and then with the sleeve of her jacket rubs the mud off the boots. Better?
We're getting there. The effort's what counts.
Great.
You know, 2 years ago, if you had told me I'd be sitting in an audience with the king of Sunshine City, I'd have said bullshit.
Do you think he'd believe us if we told him that we just met with all the gods?
Oh no, not in a million years.
They were just hanging out in his city, just
I
chilling out.
I look outside at the big wall of light. I think he knows.
He knows, but he doesn't know the extent of it. Hopefully.
What gods do they worship here? All of them? Or only a few?
You know, you've got me. This is not my area of expertise.
Oh yeah, DM. What faith runs through Sunshield City?
So the main, and this is why it's called the Platinum Protectorate, Bahamut, is a staple. They're a people of protection. That is what the Veladonian dynasty and kingdom is built on, protecting the people. Big on justice, which is where the Justicar name comes from. But there is also worship of Ioun here. There is worship of Avandra. There is worship of Arathis, smaller. So Ioun is big. There's a large library here dedicated to Ioun's following. But Arathis, Avandra, and who would be the other one?
Sunshield City.
Pelor, yes, but strangely enough, not as much as you would think. But yes, Pelor as well. And the other one that would be big here would be
Asmodeus.
no, Moradin, God of the Forge.
Shield. Okay.
Yeah. So those are the but like the two biggest are probably Bahamut and Ioun, and then the other ones are sort of smaller sects. But if anyone worships, say like Sehanine or like Coralin, Coralin is like it's not contentious and it's not seen as bad, but it's just more of like what, because the arcane is kind of it's very regulated here. It's generally, you don't see a lot of people like worshiping a god of magic and like the fey nature here. So you generally don't see him as much. And Melora, again, it's fine if you worship her. It's just there's not this is a very well built and civilized city, so it's not just as much of like the wilds and nature and things like that around here. So yeah, generally any of those are kind of okay, but the main ones are the ones that I spoke about.
You'd see Artemis walking kind of back and forth in a very short, maybe like 10-foot space, just one direction then the other, flipping his coin, catching it, flipping it over, hoping for heads, and just keep flipping it over.
Okay.
All
right.
Are you okay?
I'm ready. Yes, let's see what we can do. I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Right.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
We've been through
What do you
worse.
need us to do? Just look menacing?
No, don't look menacing at all. Be real relaxed and opposite of me right now, please.
I cast calm emotions.
I was going to say, Arsene.
Well, are you?
very
So
nervous.
you're in the middle of a ritual for detect magic. Are you
Oh.
canceling that and casting calm emotions?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Okay,
We
so
need this
cast
more.
the calm emotions. I assume, Artemis, are you looking
be
to be
willing.
calmed? Or
Definitely,
okay, so then
yes.
you don't even have
Yeah.
to make the saving throw. You just feel the calming
Hey, it's
effects
okay.
of the spell.
Here's a little pill. No, I'm kidding.
Right. I like this. This is nice. Yeah.
Hey, it's okay.
It'll be all right.
I
We
go
would
and I
not-
sit down.
We were asked to do a task by gods. Pretty sure the king does not overrule gods. But still be smart, is my
Yeah.
opinion.
You're right. We're in the right. We're doing what we can. Yes, we'll be good. Thank you, Nemeron. Thank you very much.
Yes, there's nothing to worry about. It's not like my government secretly trains me to be a sleeper assassin or anything like that. Wait, did they?
I mean, you haven't killed any of us yet.
Would I know if they did that?
Would you want me to check? I think I can check on that for you.
Did they?
I'm mostly joking. I mean, not that I would know, but I don't think they have.
Probably an unusual trigger word like sassafras or
Sarsaparilla.
Pineapple.
Right.
Okay.
At this point, the guard comes back and nods at you all and says, I can escort you to the throne room now, if you'll follow me.
I will lead
And-
the way.
Begins leading you back to that foyer, and you step in front of gold-etched doors with dragon heads sculpted upon them. The heavily armed guards on either side pull them open for you, and you are taken inside a massive hall with intricately carved statues of warriors and knights, as well as banners hanging from the ceiling. Ahead of you, sitting upon the throne, with a semicircle of other individuals surrounding him, is the King of Veladon, Rowan Justicar. As you're brought up in front, the guard steps aside, gives like a bow to the king, and begins to back out and step out of the throne room as the doors shut behind you.
Remember to
bow.
bow
Yeah.
slightly, and
I'm
then
going to give a bow.
yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
all,
I will not bow. I will curtsy.
that is fine.
Fair.
You all give your respect, and the king simply nods and holds his hand up for you to rise, and he says, Welcome. You are the Six, yes.
Yes, thank you
Yes,
for
we are.
seeing us.
Yes, we are, Your Majesty.
You have done some good things. I have been made aware of your deeds over the past little while, and your assistance to Lady Erin Shieldheart.
Yeah.
I am...
Sorry.
It's fine. I am grateful that you are helping where you can. Helping our people and others. He turns his gaze and looks directly at you, Artemis, and smiles wryly. You have given the mage hunters quite some difficulty in the past. It seems you are quite resourceful, if a little vengeful and rage-driven.
I thank you, Your Majesty. I was following some teachings of Avandra to search out what I needed and wanted.
With violence
It-
and
it,
death.
The death part was not intentional. I may have acted with violence. I've since changed my ways, working with my friends here. I do what I can now to help them and help the world. I have since abandoned the violent ways to get information, and I now just try to converse, try to learn. I'm not proud of what I did, and I've changed. If you would accept that, you would know. If you cast Zone of Truth on me, I mean no harm now, and I regret dreadfully for what I've done. I ask that you, I guess, give me a penance, a punishment worthy, but to take into consideration the things that I've done for this land as well.
Is that all? Do you have more to say, or may I respond?
I guess if you'd like to know it a bit more, my intention was not to harm them to death. I hurt them, yes. I asked for information, yes. I left them in a state of disrepair, and I knew now that it's not the way. That they are just trying to do their jobs as much as I'm trying to do mine now.
Understood.
That's all I have to say, Your Majesty. Thank you.
This is why you are here, why you were requested. You, specifically, face charges for the things that you have done, as is any law-driven society expected. But I realize that your motivations were not unfounded given what happened with your mother and your village. And he looks to the rest of you. I am not sure all of you are aware, but our country has been very hesitant, wary of the arcane for many centuries since the fallout of the Arcane Blight. But I have been trying to change our ways, our mindset since my coronation. However, changing any system or society based on certain beliefs takes time, even for a monarch. And given this most current situation, it has been made all the more difficult. I don't know how much you know about the Shadowbrand, but they are revolutionaries, led by a man named Kigu. They wish to cause destruction and tear down our societal bonds because of our fear of the arcane. And while there is some understanding on my part at their goals, their methods leave much to be desired. However, they are making strides to break through the city to get to people within it. The problem is, looking outside our walls, I am worried. If the revolutionaries continue, many people will get hurt should our defenses falter in these dark times. And we cannot fight a battle on two fronts. One with our own people, and one against the creatures of the night. I also worry for those in the Shadowbrand organization. I am a king, but they are still my people. And they are currently surviving outside of the city walls and against this darkness, which is unknown to us. So you asked if there is penance. Yes. But only in so much as to help everyone involved. I want you to meet with the Shadowbrand. Bring them home to the safety of our walls, and tell them that I wish to negotiate for peace with those of arcane nature. I do not know where they are hiding. You will have to find information, as they are quite secretive and obviously would not want our military to have their location. But make contact with them. Get them to agree to peace talks. Bring them back so that we stop fighting one another and start helping one another, so that we can start protecting our people from this darkness instead of harming each other.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. If I may ask, what is Kiju's goal? What is he desiring that conflicts with yours?
He, many years ago, was a part of the Mage Hunters. His abilities were used to help find other arcane practitioners. He took part in an expedition and ended up killing his own.
I see. He has similar... Oh, my apologies.
He was held. And, well, this was before my time on the throne. He stewed in his cell and, again, saw many injustices towards those of arcane nature. And as such believes that the only way to move forward is to tear down what currently stands and build back from the rubble, laying a new foundation. Well, I understand his ire. His methods often lead to innocent people being put in harm's way. People who have nothing to do with the original shackles placed upon those with arcane nature or those who wish to study it. And so he has led to many people being caught in the crossfire that do not deserve to be harmed or hurt. I believe that he is intelligent. He will listen to reason if given the opportunity.
If I may, Your Majesty, you mentioned offering peace. What could you offer the Shadowbrand in return for their non-violent actions? How can we ensure that their needs would be met? They may think it's a trap. What would you offer them, so I may tell them what we have available?
I will send a writ with the royal seal upon it for you to take, but within it, it will essentially state that they will all be granted amnesty within the city while our peace talks take place, that I wish to find a way for all of us to coincide together without violence and harm to one another, a way that we can all help protect those we care about.
Take a close look at the king and see if he's actually being honest, because what went through my mind is he's thinking
Yeah,
about
me
putting them in a cell. Like,
Yep,
that's
go
the place where they'll be
ahead
held.
and go ahead and make an insight check for anyone who wants to.
Yeah,
Has he been
because I was
honorable?
definitely thinking the same thing.
Has he been honorable in his reign so far, or has he done some kind of like gray or shady things before as king?
26
There's an insight.
Hold on.
and
Where's my
24.
Where's mine?
16.
I want to do two. Everybody's doing insight.
Well, I mean, the whole.
Well, actually, that's technically.
I'm very.
13.
I'm so like focused
I
on the
forgot to
prettiness
take
of the throne room.
s-
Wow, it's shiny in here, you guys.
So, those of you who got below 20, he is a ruler. He is hard to read, but he seems forthright, and doesn't exude one way or the other. Like, he's just difficult to kind of get a grip on. But Artemis and Navari, you hone in on just his eyes, his demeanor, and just his general sort of gait. He is being very forthright. He seems to honestly want to help his people. I will say you get the sense that he is carefully choosing his words, and likely due to the semicircle of people around him, he is in a position of power, but there are plenty of people who would want to see him fail and potentially put themselves in his place. And you get the sense that as he's been talking to you about like it taking time, it takes time because there are people who would be opposed to it. And there is already a target on his back for many other things. Placing another one upon it and doing things just all in one go would probably destabilize a lot. And he is in a very precarious position, especially now with the world in the state that it's in. So you just get the sense that he is being very guarded about how he talks about this, but he's not hiding anything.
Your Majesty, I do have a question. If I may.
Yes, of course.
Just so we know, because this sounds like a pretty deep-seated grudge. How long ago was he with the Mage Hunters?
About 35 years ago, maybe.
Okay, at least so we know how best to navigate that sensitive topic there, for the most part. Okay, that makes it easier. Thank you.
Of course, yes.
Your Majesty.
Like I said, he was a part of them before I took the throne. This was during my own father's rule. And my father was beholden to his court, more so than I have been. I wish to make change, but change also causes ripples, and so there are ways to go about it. I have already been making some of these changes, but these things take time.
I appreciate the information you've given us.
Okay.
Is there someone we may speak to get direction as to where we can ascertain their location? And also, do we have a time frame for when this must be done?
There is no time frame I have on you. What I will tell you is, should you complete this and manage to help us, you will be rewarded in kind. You, specifically, Artemis, will be given a full pardon, and your mother will be freed. And as a sign of good faith, and to show you that I mean what I've said, you are welcome to visit her as much as you would like in the meantime.
I thank you graciously, Your Majesty. Thank you. Thank you.
But
Do any of my others have questions of the six? Please ask. And I'm just gonna kind of come in shambles.
there is no one I can point you to. Specifically for information, this is where you will have to use whatever skills and abilities you have to try to find information on this group. I know that they are not far from the city, as their efforts and coordinated attacks have reached our walls a few times over the course of the last few months, even before this most recent event. But I am not sure exactly where they're coming from. So, it will be on you. As for timeline, no, but the longer we leave them to continue attacking us, the less defense we have against what else is nipping at our heels at the borders of this darkness. And a big enough attack could throw our entire city into question for protecting its people. And please do remember, we no longer are only protecting people of Sunshield City, but we have taken in many refugees and those who are caught in the midst of what occurred and been slowly leading expeditions to find any still lost in the wilderness. And so we have many from other nations. Even, and he turns to Oriana, yours, Miss Scarlet.
I was wondering if you knew about me.
Well, both you and your friend, and points at Rena, are both a Trillian.
Very perceptive, Your Majesty. I'll kind of curtsy as I do that.
But again, this is not a time for infighting or for petty political squabbles. We have more serious things to worry about.
Agreed.
And as long as you are helping the greater good, I have no issue with you being in my city or helping. Is there anything else?
Your
Again,
Majesty,
thank you. Oh, go
Your
ahead.
Majesty, do they have any identifying marks, these shadow brand? Is there an actual shadow brand?
Like a symbol?
On their
mayhaps?
bodies? I don't believe
Clothing,
so.
Okay.
pendants?
Generally, I believe they try to stay very inconspicuous. Often they use shadows, night, as cover for many of their incursions. But any that we have managed to capture have told us nothing. And we are not in the business of torture. It usually does not work and gives us nothing. Or
if
if
you
it
are going-
does, false information. Sorry, yes, miss.
No, you're a king. You can talk over me if you want. But is there any kind of things that they typically target you might be able to use as bait to draw someone out is my question.
Typically, they try to get to the Mage Hunter HQ.
So they're not attacking like your guard specifically.
Sometimes they will, to create a distraction so that they can infiltrate the Arcane Bastion, which is the Mage Hunter quarters. So, yes, they will, but there's not or at least so far, there's not a pattern of how they do it. It's more they will find somewhere unexpected to breach, cause a distraction or destruction, causing our forces to filter there, to leave less at the Bastion. Although this is not always the case, as we are fairly well defended. However, it has given them opportunities to breach the walls sometimes and extract other members. I worry less about the higher layer breaches into the Bastion, as those people, I am not worried if they are free or not. They are actually free most of the time and simply housed at the Bastion. We do not take their freedoms away. This is like your mother, Artemis. Her freedoms are here. She is just asked to stay within the Bastion so that we can ensure that those of arcane nature will not unduly harm others, will learn their abilities properly, and potentially can help our nation. But it is those deeper within the depths of our Bastion, held due to destruction, their nature wishing for power or to harm others, true criminals. Their release worries me.
Artemis is getting a bit anxious, knowing that we have secured a route out, and worried how we may fondle our issue, and will say, Your Majesty, again, I thank you for what you've done for us. We will track down Kiju and the Shadowbrand and deliver them the sigil and provide them the knowledge that they will be granted amnesty. I appreciate your conversation meeting with me. We will do our best to deal with this swiftly. I thank you.
Very well. Then if there is nothing else, you are free to leave. Do come back and inform me. Oh, and he flicks his hand, and you see a page walk up off from the side, and you see the king pull something out of sort of his jacket and hand it over to the page, and the page runs down and presents it to you, Artemis, and it is a sealed envelope with what you assume is the letter that the king said that he would write to the Shadowbrand or to Kigu. And he says, I believe you have everything. If there is anything else you need from me or my court, feel free to speak with one of the guards, and they can try to create an appointed meeting for you. I wish you luck. Godspeed.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Brenna tries to curtsy.
And you watch as he stands up, and everyone stands straighter, and he walks out and around the throne, and out a back door in the back of the throne room. And you are kind of you see two guards move forward from the throne area and start to kind of tell you can get up and usher you out back through the doors. Eventually you are led back out of the palace through that courtyard to the front, and given your freedom to do what you need to do as you are left there when the gates close once more.
How about
people
some ale? Like, are you okay, Artie?
Well, as you know, I don't drink, but some nice water might be nice. Honestly, I think I'm a bit excited. So look, I can see and free my mother at any time if we can complete this. But also, your father, former mage hunter, may know where they hide or their tricks, their secrets. We may start there. I say we go there next. Although, do you think I would be welcome due to my past transgressions?
I don't think. I'm gonna say yes, but I also don't want this to come bite you in the ass. So let's just say maybe.
I'm going
Well,
to say probably not.
But
Looking
perhaps,
at it from that standpoint, probably not a good idea.
But
If we're
perhaps
just
that I
looking
should
for,
go see my mother. You all can work with Nemron, and I will go see my mother.
I mean, you have years to
it's-
catch up on.
it's nighttime, right?
Is it nighttime?
Is it
No,
nighttime?
at this point, it's getting closer. It's starting to get to like
Okay.
evening time. It's still light out, but you can see that the sun is like setting. So it's getting there.
Okay.
Do the mage hunters have a uniform or a specific thing they wear? It's the all individual style.
DM, do they have uniforms?
Yeah, they
or-
do.
Okay.
They wear a like a shield with like a circle around it. Generally have like a blue and silver sash that they wear on their uniforms. Those that are like more of the like militia or melee-esque sort of warriors have it sort of branded into their armor as well. And then those that are of arcane ability wear like robes with those colors and the symbol on it, generally.
Well, Rena, are you thinking that we should be the bait?
I think that we have people that can use magic in our group and those who can't. And if we were to get our hands on uniform, we could stage something where we were trying to say, oh, we're taking this person to go to jail, and then we could be ambushed, and then we could take care of it. And at least then we'd be able to get our hands on someone and maybe see if you could read their mind the way you do. Is it odd?
I mean, that's not such a bad plan, Rana, but I think you're depending on people just ambushing you out of nowhere. If I could add to your plan, I might say, let's find some of the seedier people in this city and spread a rumor. If you really want yourself to be a target, we should at least put out the word that there's somewhere to point that target at, or that arrow at.
I don't want to
You don't
like
point a target.
rain on your parades, but I don't want to go into this blind. I mean, there's time and a place to jump in headfirst to everything, and that's coming from me.
Saying we do it right now. Obviously, you have to get uniforms. You have to spread rumors. It takes time, but it's plan. It's better than no plan at all.
That's
That's
fair.
a good point,
I-
Nemron. From hearing the king speak, they haven't been getting down and dirty and getting information where it might actually be. No one opens up to a king's guard, but if you're the right kind of person drinking in the right kind of place, you might find information in seedier places.
Well, if they have.
Sorry, are you just trying to go out drinking and making up an excuse?
I am
I
always
will-
trying to go out drinking.
I will go with Nivari and keep her straight.
Hmm.
A little bit of muscle.
I don't know
There
if
was a joke in there, but I
I don't know if.
You'll be fine. You're overthinking. You overthink all the time. You need to just sometimes you jump in both feet. You go.
That is true. I mean, I was thinking maybe not necessarily keep Navari straight, but just make sure Navari doesn't go too deep into the booze.
Navari is tall, grown woman. She can handle it.
Oriana, you have a great friend. You should go with her as well. Yes, yes. The three of you. Yes.
So if they want to go to like seedy places, where like
Wuxie's going to stand out.
like I saw some.
We could get you something less fancy to wear.
Oriana looks at her clothes. This isn't even my fancy clothes.
It's still fancy. Navari, do you have anything that Oriana could wear?
I am literally wearing all my clothing.
That's what we need. We'll figure something out. If she wants to come with us, I mean, she'll probably remember more than we will, to be fair.
Well, look, this probably doesn't have to happen tonight. The city's in mourning. I doubt.
That's a good time to find people drinking.
Yeah, but I doubt.
Perfect time to find people drinking.
I doubt when on the night when all of the guards and gods and the Lux Eterna are all out, that people are going to be taking advantage of the darkness tonight.
Well, didn't the king say that they suspect that they have members inside the city?
Like moles?
Spies, people, monitoring things,
that
feeding information.
Some of you could use your abilities to hear people's thoughts in the tavern while you're out there, and that could give us some take of who may be what. Or Zavrin.
Zavrin could do that.
Zavrin, you could help.
I will say
your
this.
family.
Do remember, it depends on where you are. In certain places of the city, you've been cut off. It depends on where they've built. So this city was built on a specific substance that dampens magic. It's called Zelirium, the palace, the marble that you were seeing is not marble. It's Zelirium, and that is literally why you could not feel anything within those walls. But it depends on what the buildings, like if you go into a tavern that also has Zelirium construction within it, or is built on top of a Zelirium deposit, sort of like that in the ground, you
there goes the easy way out.
You may not be able to use your magic. So just be aware of that. When you were in that open sort of area in that park, where the tribute to those lost during the coming of the darkness, you could feel your magic there, likely because like that area is sort of untouched and more like a nature area. But walking in certain places, you've noticed like the ebb and flow of being connected and losing connection with those arcane abilities. So I just want to make you aware that the tavern could be fine. Just know that it's not a guarantee. It just depends.
And was it only Zavrin's and Oriana's magic that was cut off?
Yes, they are the only ones who have arcane-based magic. All the rest of you are either nature-based or divine. Yeah.
Okay.
Roller.
Go ahead, Serena.
Roller, do you think that your cousin could get you in touch with any of the people who are already prisoners, or no?
I was gonna say that we could, if it's the king's will, we just have them escort a prisoner outside to where they're away from the Zelirium. That could do my thing while we talk to them about it, and then I'll read their thoughts. Or if the king is true about this, we could even offer a prisoner exchange of sorts, where we grab a few prisoners and bring them out to the area and parade around with them a little bit, and I'm sure they'll get picked up.
Do you think it would be a problem for them to know that you are doing an arcane-based magic yourself?
Semantics.
I just don't want you to end up as the prisoner for the prisoner exchange. if
We'll
that
just
is
tell
how
them
we
we're
go.
really good interrogators.
There is one slight issue with that plan. The king did say that the prisoners that they keep there permanently are dangerous people. So I don't know if we necessarily want to open with offering a prisoner exchange. If that's what they end up requiring in order for the peace, then maybe, but...
It's a show of goodwill up front.
It's also the brainstorm phase of this plan. We're just trying to look at all of our options.
I will again, just mentioning it. But now that you did say about the whole three of us going out, seeding some rumors and information, there might be a way I could be there. Doing a gig.
Yes, you could put on a performance. Get the people drinking.
If Varric can hype you up, I will be bouncer.
You can sing about how much they suck.
Well, it provides a as long as you're within a certain range, I could even, if you have some sort of cue, inspire you whilst you are having your discussions and seeding information and make it a little more effective. As far as I'm aware, that is not magical in nature, so even if it is atop the lyrium, it should still work. As us all play to our strengths.
You could call yourself Rage Against the Mage Hunters. It would be fantastic. People will love it.
Nine.
I'm going to need a drum.
And Oriana will reach into the bag of holding and pull out her drum. I mean, I have a drum. It's part of my repertoire, but
Give it a shot, Rena. I want to see your sick rhythm.
Right here in the street.
Totally
Well,
gonna nap.
let's
I'm
see
totally gonna
Oriana do the rage rap.
nine.
Here in like the nice area of the city in front of the castle. Let's do it.
I don't think we can
Acoustics would be amazing in here. Yes, yes.
No, my mother is a singer of the family. I'm more of the violinist and instrumentalist.
And I know how to play a drum.
I mean, if
Tell
you
us.
wanted to be my drummer, that could work, but
You do not believe me, do you?
Play it.
I think this
want to
is a
hear it.
fantastic
I'm as you say, overthinking it and trying to figure out what our best method of approach is.
It's a good cover to just be performer.
I say
Navari
we
did that
give her a
though for a
chance.
whole week.
Let's hear if she's got the stuff. You can judge her.
All right, and I'll pull out some sheet music for the drum.
Don't use music. Music comes from here, especially drums.
Do you start banging on the drum?
Heck yeah!
Okay, give me a
guidance.
performance.
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna laugh.
I think she needs some loot backup.
It's great.
go ahead and roll a guidance.
Yeah, I gave you guidance.
Oh, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, so it's
Let's do
a
it.
4. Okay,
Bam,
6.
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, it's just like bang 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 bang
It's
bang
good.
bang 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 bang.
Okay. We're going to try something a little different here, and I will extend my hand.
Navari, do you start playing on your lute?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just
It's
hear
all
this
in, like,
like
very simple
kind of like
bam, 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 bam.
yeah, like random melody, not great played, not terrible, but like trying to go along, but like Rena has no rhythm because she's just banging.
This is
And
not
so
my normal drum.
Navari is like trying to keep up with the rhythm, and she's actually sounding better than she usually does, but yeah, it's hard. So it just sounds like just two instruments just not in sync, desperately trying to work together.
Okay, we're not forming a band.
But
that's
I mean,
for
I
sure.
guess it seems kind of rageful.
We need to
Well-
practice.
the music is not important here. What is important is that we present ourselves as people who might be aligned with the values of the Shadow Brand. We don't have to go around asking where they are. We don't have to start asking for information. But to plant a seed, to say that we might be potential allies, we may get approached. It's not going to get us the information right away, but it's the long game.
That was kind of my idea, was that you two are sifting around, putting thoughts over here and there and gathering info, and I could be the one playing some music at the tavern, offering, as I said, inspirations. If you'd like, I don't know, scratch your horn or something, I don't know.
You could take a
Scratch
spoon
your horn?
and rub it on his horn for fun music.
A good horn.
What?
No, not. Oh gosh, my gosh.
Take my strong horn.
My point being, we could all play to our strengths. Navari can carouse. Vanna, you could.
Like the drum. I have been playing the drum since I was as tall as Little Chef. I can play drum.
I think you could cast Zone of Truth. I have its components. It's about 40 proof and made of barley.
What am I getting myself into?
You're a one-woman band. You need to expand. That rhymed. Nice. Okay.
I mean, I literally am a one-woman band, so I developed some magic specifically to do this.
Did you? Oh, you did.
Yes, you've seen this before, and I'll take the drum and I'll bang the drum at just a rhythm to give it a rhythmic beat, and then set it aside so it starts playing on its own. Do the same with the horn. Just a little
Make a
ditty on
performance
the
check
horn.
for me.
Like as guidance.
Performance.
Add the guidance.
1d4. 22.
And as she sets up each of these instruments one by one, it is a much smoother performance, and it is actually a nice jaunty melody with a harmony of various instruments that she adds to it. All kind of playing in the air, sort of around her.
Okay. I guess I can start off trying to get as much as I can from my dad about maybe he might have known Kigu while he was with the Mage Hunters. Never hurts to poke that hornet's nest. I guess I'll deal with these things later.
Yes, you should definitely see him. I'm going to see my family. You should see yours. Same with Savrin. Well, you don't seem too excited about it, though.
No, not really.
And
Ew.
Navari can go drinking with Rena. And, well, we got a performer here that can go maybe make some gold as well. I like this plan.
Are you sure
About it,
you
right?
want to go off by yourselves?
Well, we got limited time to make things happen.
This
A
city's my
relatively
home.
safe city.
I know the city like the back of my hand. So
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
All
Sorry.
right, so we will gather information. Oriana will be stingy with the drum, and I will just be the muscle, as usual. She's like pouting a little bit.
Oh,
hey, maybe one of your ancestors can help.
Brenna, we have the best job of it all. We have to just look unsavory and complain a lot.
You get to drink beer?
Yeah.
Boo.
If you talk to the crowd about some of the Shadow Brand, I could, and if you give me a little mark, then maybe I could detect their thoughts then, or at least try to. Then we get them outside the city. We use some suggestion on them to lead us to the hideout.
Rena, your skills will come in handy when we botch this whole plan and we start throwing
Yes.
fists.
Okay, let's
Beer
not
spilled
manifest
everywhere.
that. Let's not manifest that for ourselves. We already set one thing awry a month ago. We can't do another
He's
one.
just trying to make me feel better. You guys don't appreciate my music.
I thought it was lovely.
thought it was great.
Unappreciated in my time.
It came from the heart.
Always comes from the heart. That's the best kind. It's fine. It's fine. I'll do what you want.
I'm really looking forward to this band show, and then like
Yeah.
Navari making comments and trying to smooze up people. This is going to be entertaining.
So, okay, so as the sun begins to set, where is everyone going?
I'll go home. I'll go to my
Okay.
dad's house.
You're going to your family's home or your father's home.
Is it past visiting hours for Artemis to see his mother?
You don't know. You never
Okay.
really dug into that or asked, so you'll have to find out. So you're going to the Arcane Bastion?
Yes, Arcane Bastion.
Okay. And the four of you are going where? Or are the four of you going somewhere, or is someone else doing something else? What are the four of you doing?
We split this up as many ways as possible.
Oh,
I want to go somewhere by myself.
Yeah.
Totally kidding. I'm not.
I feel like we can't just walk into a rando bar and start this. Like, we need to actually like have an idea of where we're going to.
I may have a place.
Okay.
There's this lovely little bar called the Hidden Sun. You might want to check it out, just FYI. Just
So clouds.
where I'm trying to remember. Where would the party or not the red light district, not that. Where would like the party district be in Sunshield City?
There's like
Until you-
there's like an entertainment district.
Okay.
Is the Hidden Sun where your ex-boyfriend or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
really city, so that's why I'm suggesting it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. So yeah, that would be in sort of that area. So it's like an entertainment
Okay.
area.
Is this the third X stalking mission?
No, just go spread some chaos, make their life just a little saltier. The salty six, after all. Right, Zavin?
That's not that. Oh,
That's not. We did not decide on that.
Lexus 6. It just makes so much sense now.
That's too sad every time you hear that. I don't want to think of that every time we have to introduce ourselves. It's a downer.
True.
Okay, so you guys heading to the Hidden Sun then?
It was just
Yeah.
such a
I guess
suggestion.
so.
You guys don't have to go.
I mean, if anything, we'll get a drink and have a chance to talk about what our next moves are, and if it works out that we can plant a seed of anti-mage hunter, even better.
Okay, so you're heading off towards the Hidden Sun. You'll have to ask for directions, but fairly easy enough. Like Nemeron gives you a few initially to let you know exactly where it is, and you can find your ways there. All right, well, let's do Nemeron first. So
Righty.
you head sort of to the residential area of the city, and you know that by this time your father's shift would probably be over, so he should be home.
Are like any
you
lights on inside?
yeah, you come up to like this sort of this quainter home. You know that your father generally like lives alone these days because your brother and sister have their own business, and so he just keeps like a small home. It has like a room for each of you, should you need it. Well, one of the rooms has like 2 beds for the 2 boys, and then another room for the female guest, or just someone else. And generally now they're just used as guest rooms if needed. But you knock on the door, and at the door you hear footsteps. You see the door open, and a gray-haired, taller but well kept, well groomed gentleman opens the door. And he notices you right away. He says, Nemeron. Wow, this Nemeron.
It's okay.
You're
Hey, Papa.
home. Well, come in.
I'll just give him like a quick little hug, and I'll just sit in the living room.
Yeah, he hugs you
Wherever
back.
that
He
is.
says, what can I get you?
I need a beer. There's been a lot that's happening, and I just want your opinion.
Well, I can definitely do that. And he goes and grabs an ale for you and one for himself and brings you over the bottle and sits down. And he says, are you coming for dinner?
I guess I am, since you asked me.
That's good.
But,
I'm just making some simple stew.
I do have I guess a favor, rather. And I know it's a touchy subject, but what can you tell me from your time as a mage hunter? It's just that word's been getting thrown a lot recently, and I want to know.
Time
What?
as a mage hunter.
Like, I know that's how you and Mama met, but that's not, we all
Right.
know that story.
Well, I mean, we worked, we served the crown, we looked for those who had arcane abilities and brought them in.
But never, I guess, like, physically or, like, fatally, right? Hopefully?
No, not in my day, or at least when I was doing my patrols and my missions. I was one of the lucky ones, I suppose. Didn't really have to. Well, that's not true, I suppose. There were a couple that didn't want or believed that they should just be free to use their abilities as they saw fit and would lash out a couple of times, but I
Mage
never.
hunters themselves? Like, inside the mage hunter?
No, the
Oh,
people
okay.
we were tasked with looking for. Right. So yeah, we fought a few of them, had to subdue them. Got a few
Okay.
scars from it, but never had to fatally wound anyone.
And what about, like, inner conflict between you, or I guess between fellow mage hunters?
I mean, there's a little bit of, or there was, during my time, a little bit of stigma between those of us who learned our skill in protecting and fighting from training, and those we worked with who had the ability to detect other magic users. And so sometimes there would be a crass word or two. Sometimes there would be some not so kind looks. But
But never fall on, like, inner rank violence, right?
I think a couple of times I wasn't quite involved, but I remember hearing about a few fights breaking out during times of merriment when people were drinking and maybe had a little too much and said something they shouldn't. But any kind of behavior like that meant that you were going into the brig for a while and you were reprimanded pretty heavily and you were probably cleaning latrines for a little while afterwards. So
Okay.
it's not really something that happened all too often.
Can I insight check my own father? I want to
Yeah,
see if
of
he's
course
telling me
you
the
can.
truth. That's okay. Insight. Hold on. Okay, 24.
Yeah, I mean, he's never really, like, maybe when you were younger he would hide things from you, but you guys went through your own ordeal as a family. Like, you lost your mother. He's never really hidden much from you
Anything
since
really?
since you've grown up. He's been
Okay.
pretty straightforward with you, and he's being pretty straightforward now. You get the sense like though they are tasked with finding and bringing back those of arcane descent, and potentially imprisoning ones who might be violent or dangerous, or could have done it to just anyone back then. Like, you don't know. You've heard what the king has said now, but you don't know how it worked back then.
Mhm.
They're still a military organization. So dissent in the ranks, for whatever
That's not treated
reason,
lightly.
it's not. Yeah. So
Okay.
generally, infighting would be dealt with a very heavy hand.
Okay.
So you get the sense that he's being honest. Like, he didn't hear about, like, yeah, sure, sometimes bar fights would break out, or people would get drunk and say things that they shouldn't, and that would get actually quite a heavy punishment, even just that. But
Okay.
generally, no, there was not, like, if a platoon was going together, or a group was together, they were brothers in arms. They would help one another, and they would work with one another.
Okay. I guess the only reason why I'm asking is because I, for now at least, decided to give up the mercenary lifestyle, at least temporarily.
Right?
Hasn't been paying well. I'm
You
asking about
haven't gone back to the where the Sunglades are,
I haven't checked in with them recently.
right?
And that's,
Right.
That's
Well, I mean, it's been a while, right? You've been all over. At least I haven't seen you back in a good long while, and based on your responses over the past month, sounds like you've been through quite a bit.
yeah, shit hit the fan. But I guess I'm asking is because I'm just curious how mage hunters, I guess newer ones like me possibly, would be treated within the ranks.
Are you planning on joining?
Above board, no, but to him, yes. Yeah.
Like, you're telling him yes?
Yes, I'm telling him yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like today it's a little bit different than when I was working for him. Our new king is trying to clean up some of the behaviors, and I know he's been changing things around. I've heard from some of my old mates, whenever we grab a drink and have a shift that doesn't conflict. So I think you'd be fine. But as far as I know, they're a bit on standstill right now. They're more being pulled into the regular military to help with protecting the city and going out on excursions to find anyone who might be lost or holing up in safety.
Okay.
There's not a lot of need to hunt for mages when and he like kind of like gestures to the sky. Well, just gestures to the sky when a pile of dung is at our doorstep. So
But you're trying not to step on it, right?
exactly. So you're welcome to join, but you might as well just join the regular military at that point. You might have a better time of really doing something if you tried to move your way up through to the Knights of the Spire or the King's Guard or something. But if you're interested in the Mage Hunters, I don't see why you wouldn't be accepted. The only thing you might notice is when you're starting in the military, you start at the bottom, so you'll be treated like a bit of shite. Yeah. But it's not because
It's just how it is.
of anything. Yeah, it's a hazing, really.
Okay. Well, I just want your opinion on that,
No,
and
yeah.
I'll just start eating my stew then.
Yeah, he'll once you guys like finish your beer, he'll bring you over to the table and set you up and finish cooking and bring you a bowl of stew, and he'll just sit down and he'll be like, well, anything I mean, other than your potential of joining the Mage Hunters, which kind of seems a little strange because you seem to have traveled. You were in Avonhurst, which is quite a distance from here.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that I mean, I guess mercenary life wasn't the greatest, but I would think it's actually paying pretty well now, given we're looking
Given
for
the state of the world.
exactly. Given we're looking for every able person to help us on finding people and protecting the city, I think they're getting paid quite well. So I'm surprised that you wouldn't. Did you get in bad with someone in the guild or something?
No, it's not that. It's just that, the king, he's trying to make some change, and he did. I'm just gonna say it. He did task me with finding a possible dissenter.
Right? Oh,
By
who
the
are you
name of-
looking for?
Do you know the name Kigu by chance? He
Yeah,
was-
everyone knows who Kigu is. He leads the revolutionaries that are, well, they've been attacking the city for quite some time.
But you don't know him personally. I mean, I was told that he ran at the same time with the Mage Hunters that you did.
He ran for a very short period of time. He was very young when he was inducted into the Mage Hunters, found with the ability to be able to easily detect other
Arcane users.
arcane practitioners, yeah.
Okay.
He was trained with a specific squad, and something happened on one of their missions. They had been working for a couple of years, I think, and then this one village, they were after someone, and something happened. I don't know the full details. Again, military, it's on a need-to-know basis.
True.
And
Okay.
he ended up murdering a couple of people from his squad. They had to subdue him, bring him back. He was tried and then held within the bastion itself until
Okay.
someone broke him out. It was a day when that happened. A lot of damage to the capital city, a lot of chaos, and a lot of people lost their lives, but he managed to get free.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put such a downer. I was
No,
just trying to figure out as much as I can.
it makes sense. They've been attacking our walls alongside whatever else is out there over the last month pretty heavily, probably knowing that this is prime time for them to do what they need to do, except problem is every attack they cause, there's collateral, and most of that collateral is people that aren't involved in the previous decisions of the kingdom. Men and women with families. Sometimes children got in the crossfire.
Okay. Well, I was just curious, but thanks.
If you're after him, be very careful. He's a smart man. And
He's a conniving little,
well, he understands the city. He understands the military. And he has a goal and wishes to see it through. So
Okay.
just don't be collateral.
I'll try not to. And I guess this conversation has taken place over a few hours, probably.
Yeah, a
Or-
bit of time. Yeah, probably a couple of hours. As you've been talking. And just at one point he also says, "Well, I would, if you're going to find your way into the Mage Hunters, you should at least go back and let the Sunglades know there's been a few of your acquaintances that have come by asking where you've been. Just checking up on you. A few of the ones that you've worked with on previous runs.
Okay.
And they were worried. I told them most recently, the last one that came in, told them that you were safe and you'd managed to stay protected during this most recent problem. But might be just worthwhile to let people know that you're back and you're gonna be focusing on other things.
Okay. I mean, I'll deal with those loose ends soon.
All right, well, let's have another drink, and then if you like, you can stay here for the evening, or if you have places to be, you're welcome to go. It's always good to see you, and hopefully you won't be a stranger.
Not for long, no. Hopefully, but I'll take that drink for sure.
All right, he'll go out and get another drink and converse with you. All right.
Okay.
Artemis, you, with direction, find your way to the Arcane Bastion. It is a large building, and it stands out because of this impressive, colossal marble eagle that stands on top of the building. It's hard to miss. But as you get sort of to these large front doors that are guarded on either side, you are allowed entrance into the initial sort of lobby area. And as you come to sort of like this desk, you see an elven woman behind the desk, sort of filing through paperwork. It is later in the evening, and you see that she looks to be sort of cleaning up a little bit, likely winding down for the day. And she turns to you, she says, "Oh, hello. Can I
Hello.
help you?"
Yes. Yes, I was hoping that I could see my mother, Piper McGrim. Been a very, very long time since I saw her. She may not recognize me, and I may not recognize her.
I feel like I saw something with that name on it. And you see her like messing up her papers after she's like all put them together, but eventually picks up a piece of paper. She says, "Right, well, good news. I did get a writ from the palace that you might be coming by, and
Yes.
that you
Artemis,
are
Veladon?
right. That you are allowed to see Piper. Let me get someone to escort you to where she is. And
Oh, thanks.
and you see her sort of push back from the desk and head into sort of like a back area, and then she comes back out and she says, "If you'll just wait a few moments, one of our squires will come to escort you to Miss Piper's room."
Oh, thanks. I'll wait right here.
Of course. And she goes back to like realizing she messed up all her papers. She's like, and goes back to putting them all together again. After maybe 2 to 3 minutes, you see a young human sort of boy, but like maybe in his teenage years, comes rushing in, fairly nicely dressed, seems to be in a uniform, does have sort of the mage hunter shield, but not wearing armor or weapons or anything like that. Likely just works in the building, helping with various incidental tasks and things like that. He says, please follow me. I'll take you to the room of Mr. Grimm. Come. And he leads you off down the hallway. As you get to the end, to your left, you see this platform, and he says, please, step on here. And he steps on the platform and waits for you to step on as well. And once you do, he just presses sort of this button in the center of the platform, and as it depresses, you watch as this sort of like golden light lights up the platform, and you feel like this spinning motion. You're not spinning, but something in you is underneath you is spinning as you corkscrew and are elevated upwards, higher and higher, and you pass a couple of floors before finally on the 5th floor come to a stop, and he says, follow me, and head out and down left to your hallway. And he's like, room 505. Okay. And you end up passing quite a few doors until you come to a room with 505 on it. And you see the boy knock on the door. Miss Piper, there's someone here to see you. Is now a good time? And you hear? Who's there? I believe, and he turns to you. Sir, what's your name?
Yes, this is Artemis Tarragon. I have traveled many miles, and I would like to meet with you.
Artemis? And the door like swings open, and you see the sort of black with like these like streaks sort of silver in her hair, small figure, stout, and sort of looking well, that face that you remember. It's been a long time, but you still remember your mother. Looks a little older, but halflings live a long time. And you can just see sort of lines in her face, but where you'd expect to see like misery lines, it actually seems like jovial sort of laugh lines almost. And she and like as soon as she sees you, she looks you up and down, and she just grabs you in the fiercest hug
I didn't expect this.
possible.
I should have came sooner, but I came as soon as I could. Thank you.
Miss Piper, I'm gonna go. And she just looks over and like waves this page off, and he rushes away. And she hugs you and then just grabs your face and just gives you a big kiss on your forehead, and she says, "Whoa, you've grown. Come in."
Thank
and
you.
takes your hands and pulls you inside into her room, and she shuts the door behind you, and you see she's living in sort of this self-sufficient, like almost like apartment. It looks like she has a homely living room. She has some kind of like washroom. She has a kitchen, and you see that there's like a balcony as well. And you see that she's just been knitting something, and you see it like just like lying there. And she pulls you over to one of the like sofas and sits you down, and she goes, "My goodness, I've not seen you in forever. I didn't know what happened to you."
So happy to be with you here. This is more than I anticipated. I didn't bring anything. I didn't know I was going to be seeing you today.
Oh, I don't need anything. I've got my
give
boy.
You this. The little crumpet. I've become quite the little cook, or as some of my friends call me, the little chef. And I'm here to, get you out of here one day. I'm working on it now, actually.
Oh, she'll take it and she'll be like, "I don't know whether to eat this or to save it."
I can make many more. Each day I'll make you, and I'll come tomorrow as well and give you another one.
And she'll taste it, and she'll be like, very delicious. You've
Oh,
learned.
thanks. Oh, thanks.
She'll eat it and say, get me out of here. I don't know. I've been here a very long time.
Yeah, 14 years. I know I should have been here sooner. You're right. I should have.
No,
worked and got you here.
no, that's not on you. I mean, I should have been there for you, son.
I had no choice. You had to go without violence, and they could have found me. Who knows how they would have treated me as well. But yes, you seem to be okay here.
I am. Why, when I was brought here, I was given a place to live. They've been helping me learn how to channel my magics, which I never knew how to do. It would just happen every once in a while. And I'm helping others now.
Wow, that's wonderful. I'm glad
I'm
that
also
you've been
not.
okay.
I'm not stuck here. I'll go out in the market when I need to. I have friends. I play chess with a few people in the park.
It's wonderful. I'm so glad that you've been doing okay. This makes me feel really relieved. I worried about you every night. I just recently heard that you were still alive. I gained some of my own abilities. Is it okay if I talk to you sometime? Can I send you messages?
Well, are you thinking of leaving already? We just started talking.
No, not at all. I just want to see if I have your permission, if I could even get through to you.
I'm your mother. Why would I ever not want you here?
Well, you might have held a grudge. Many years.
Why? You were a boy. If anything, you should be hating me for leaving you.
Not at all.
You know, I never forgot you. Hang on. And you, she starts like rummaging around this apartment, and you see her like flinging a few things here. You see like a few needles, some balls of yarn, and she goes, okay. And she plants this box in front of you and like starts pulling out clothing that she created for you each year. And you see as it like gets bigger and bigger, she's like, I don't know.
I think they'll still fit. I haven't grown that much. Let me put it on.
Yeah, well, like some of it definitely, some of it definitely does. She's like, no, I think that was back when you were way too young. But let's see if this one fits. This was for the most recent year. And she puts it up to you. It's a little big, but it is a sweater, and there are some socks.
I put it on.
Yeah. And it's just got
so
like
warm. Oh, thank you. It warms me inside as well.
It's just got like some like suns and moons and stars on it. And she just goes, these were all the birthday gifts I wanted to give you, but I didn't know what happened, and once I got here and understood and realized I needed to stay for a bit.
You didn't have a choice. I know.
I asked them to send word, but you weren't at the village, and they said a lot of the people had left and they didn't know where to find you.
Yeah, I tried my best for a month or so to live on the crops, but I wasn't very good at it. I met some people, some worshippers of Avandra, and I stayed with them for many years, 8, and they taught me some skills. I went on and tried to find you. I did some things that got me in some trouble, but I'm fixing my ways, and I've been doing good from here on out. I say you raised me right as well as you could.
Oh, well, I should be thanking those people at this temple for taking care of you when a mother should have. But I'm I'm so glad that you're okay. When I saw that darkness coming, I believed you were always alive, but then I didn't know. I've seen so many people, refugees coming into the city. We've been helping some of them, and it's terrible. And I was so worried that maybe you were out there somewhere scared and alone and hurt. But to see you here, it warms my heart.
For some nights I was afraid on my own, but I have friends now. You'll have to meet them soon. May I bring them by sometime and
Of
visit you
course,
again?
please bring me all your friends.
Wonderful.
I will take their measurements and probably find ways to make them some clothes.
Oh, well, yes, we have one though. Well, Oriana, she's quite fancy. We may wait a little while to give her something, but
I can make something fancy.
okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. Wow. Well, I don't have to put you out right now. Let's talk for a little while and share about the good things that you've been doing, and I'll share about the good things I've been doing as well.
Artie, Ginger.
Yes. Tell me what.
Well, she came. I feel so terrible. You know, she was only studying magic because of me, and she's not
Don't
like.
blame yourself. Tell me what happened.
Well, she was brought here, of course, and taken from everything she knew, and then those people attacked, and there was smoke,
Yes.
and loud sounds, and rushing everywhere, and there were some people that were hurt, and I went to them to help them. I can heal people, you know, and I was focused on helping those that were bleeding and hurt, and I lost track of her, and I think they took her. The people that attacked, I think they're those.
You mean
those...
when the darkness came? Just
No,
recently?
no. Years ago.
When you were taken?
Yes. Well, when we were taken, we were brought here.
Yes.
Maybe a year or two in. She was caught up in this attack. The Bastion here, it was blown apart in the lower levels, and like I said, people were hurt, and I was helping. I lost track of her, and I think those revolutionaries came and they took her.
Are you talking about the Shadow Brand?
Yes. I don't know much
Yes.
about them,
Okay.
but she's gone. She's been gone with them. I don't know if she's been taking part in these most recent attacks either. I don't know what they've done with her, to be honest. I'm so worried about her as well. I know a couple of times.
Yes.
Well, a couple of times they've come here and attacked again. One time they wanted me to come with them, but I told them that it wasn't right what they were doing. That we're not prisoners. We're being helped, and we need to help others. That if we want this to stop, we need to be better.
When did she last come to you?
She didn't. It was someone else. I don't know who. A man. Didn't get his name. I told him to go. I didn't want him to get hurt either.
Did he have any identifying marks on him or anything? Like a tattoo?
No,
how
but
tall
he
was
looked.
he? Red hair? What did he have?
He was gray skinned. He had black hair.
Okay.
These dark eyes. But it was tall, but so was everyone, really.
Know how to feel. And the chairs, they never seat us well at all. I'm always looking at the table. It's just no fun. Well, anyway, this information is very helpful. I think what we want to do is try to to help those, because they're outside the city. I was told by the king. He told me that we should make peace with them, bring them in.
Oh, you're
And
going
so
to
we're looking. Yes.
you're going to help them.
Yes, we need to. Yes.
Amazing. Well, I didn't know you were a part of all of this. Oh, Artie, I'm so proud.
Well, now I know where you are. I'll send some letters. You're on the 5th floor, room 505.
Come
Yes,
visit me
yes.
anytime, and don't you dare be a stranger now. If you don't come see me
No.
and have dinner with me, there will
Never
be
mind.
problems. And also, you
yes.
said you can cook now. I expect some meals.
Yes, I'll bring more than a dry old biscuit for you. Yes, yes. Do. Yes.
And
Wonderful.
definitely bring your friends. But oh, I don't even know what to ask you. But I suppose, well, there's so much.
Well, if I may, I don't know the rules around here, but if I could stay with you in the evening, I'll sleep in the chair. I'll sleep on the ground. I just don't want to leave your side. I'd like to stay here with you for the evening. if I
You
could.
stay. I can make up the couch, and I can even give you my bed if you'd like.
Oh, wonderful. No, you skip the bed. I've slept on the ground everywhere I've gone. It's okay. Thank you for.
Okay, well, let me
letting
get
stay.
you.
Yeah.
Let me make a good cup of tea, and
Wonderful. Thank you.
and we'll continue to talk all about all of your adventures and what you've been doing.
Wonderful. I like it. Thank you very much. Yes. Let's do it. Yes.
All right, she goes off to make some tea and get you settled and start to go over the last 14 years of your life to try and figure out exactly what she's missed. And she pokes every detail, even the ones that you don't want to, go into, and she wants to know everything. And
I tell her everything. Yes.
yeah.
All the
And
details,
she is relentless, but is she breaks out into tears every so often, just happy to see you, and she's often grabbing your hand or touching you in some way as if to make sure that you're still there.
I sit next to her on the bed. We're right by side.
Yeah, and she just keeps patting your hands, and a couple of times she comments on your hair and says, like, maybe you should cut it a little bit here or do this, or typical mom stuff. She looks at you and she says, well, I don't know if you're eating enough, you're not stout enough, you're
That's
making this
very
food
true.
for
I'm
all
very
these
thin.
you're making
Yeah.
this food for all this people, and you're not taking care of yourself. She
Correct.
goes into all the mom stuff, but you spend hours into the evening, and it does take hours before finally being able to settle down.
Yes. Thank you. And I apologize to the group for taking a bit of time, but also that I'm not going to be meeting at the bar with you tonight. I think this takes precedent, so I will reconvene at some point. I'll probably I would send a message, actually. I would send a
Okay.
message to somebody at some point throughout the evening saying...
Who are you going to send a message to?
Oh, well, somebody who could respond, which I guess would be... No, shoot, Nimron's not out with him. He's with his dad.
So you get a
okay, I would-
pre-response with sending
anyone,
though.
yeah,
I could
anyone
send
can
it to
respond.
anyone. Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, so Oriana
we
might
have
be...
Don't we have those communicators that allow us to talk to each other, or is that
You have
only for
those
us
as
to talk?
you have those as well, but those are like so sending can go into like someone's head and they can respond like silently, or they can respond out loud. The communicators are like
To
they
all.
show to everyone. Well, not
Yeah,
to everyone,
once.
to that person, but you can see. You can
Right.
send it out to everyone as well, so that everyone
It's
gets
like having
it.
your
you can,
phone on speaker.
Yeah, you could do a blast, like a group call, but you can also send it to a specific person. But it basically, when the person picks up, it's like their phone's on speaker with like a projected image of the person talking to them. So up to you on how you would want to do it. You're welcome to do either.
I wouldn't do the speaker thing because I don't know where people are and what's going on, so I'd rather inject it into somebody's head. And I think I'd
Okay.
go with Savrin because I
Okay.
know that Oriana might be in a performance.
And Zavrin's in people's heads all the time.
It's my turn, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say something like, I'm staying at the Arcane Bastion with my mother. I'm going to be here for the night. Tell me where I can meet you in the morning.
Okay.
That's what I send to Zavrin
Okay.
at some point.
Okay.
I'm sending to send anything back.
No,
later.
you can. You automatically can.
But right now, like, isn't there like a time limit? I have to respond within a certain time limit, right? I can't.
There's a word limit, 25
can't-
words.
Yeah.
I can't
you
like
can't
hold on to it.
No, you
bank
can't
it,
hold on
and
to
then
it and
pull
bank
out,
it
like,
for
an hour,
hours.
2 hour,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
now we're gonna head back home.
But I mean, I will say, like, at this point, you're probably in the you'd probably be in the midst of
Oh, that's true. It's been there for a while.
you'd probably be in the midst of your time at the bar. So you can decide how you want to respond to that when we get into the. I'll tell you when you have to respond to that. But okay, so you would send that message, and you would know that you will get a response in a bit. Okay, well, with that, I think we're going to take a break for the night and pick up with the shenanigans at the Hidden Sun when we come back from our break. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We will be back shortly. We're just going to stretch our legs, take a bathroom break, grab a drink, do whatever we need to, and we will be back in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. See you in a few. Okay, we are back. So, the rest of you head on. Let me just get the music back up. You head on to the Hidden Sun in the entertainment district. You ask around here and there to get some insight into where it is, even though you have the directions from Nemeron. You still need to find your bearings a little bit as you get like closer to the entertainment district and everything. But eventually you find yourselves at this tavern. It has some gaudy lighting on the outside, and the sign has literally like a sun peeking out from behind a wall, with like a ninja mask on its face, with the hidden sun sort of plastered on the front of it. You hear a fairly rowdy crowd within, as the sun has at this point set by the time you get here. It is evening time. People are in for meals and drinks, but you hear sort of a boisterous atmosphere within. And once you open the door, you are hit with laughs and yells and clinking of glasses, and you see quite a few bartenders not bartenders, sorry, like waiters or waitresses moving about the various tables. It seems like a fairly large establishment, but they're moving about to ensure that everyone has what they need. And then you see two people behind the bar taking care of the various patrons at the bar, and the bar is quite full. But yeah, you have the freedom to enter and take part in whatever it is you wish to do. So, what are you guys doing?
I think I'd turn to the group and say, just be yourselves. Just remember, a lie you can't keep up is not useful. And I'll head directly just right to the bar.
Okay. You head over to the bar, and you see on one end looks to be a female, presenting at least, Goliath woman, shaved head, tattoos down sort of the neck, sort of wearing like a tank top, and just simple slacks, making various drinks for various patrons. And on the other side, you see a male, half orc, with sort of this long black hair, seems to have sort of flamboyantly colored clothes, like this like red shirt, this like blood red shirt, these sort of dark black slacks, seems to have sort of this the like he has like the beard where it's got like the two pieces here and then the strap that goes like all along the chin, very put together, but like over the top. Like he kind of almost looks out of place, but you see the shirt is like slightly open, showing like the mid-chest area. Seems fairly well built, and you see that he is currently kind of putting on a show of making drinks as he makes like a few cocktails. And at this point you see he's actually got like a tower of glasses set up, and he's like shaking something, and as he pours it and it overflows down into the other glasses. But you are there. There is a little bit of room on either side, so you can choose which sort of bartender you want to be serviced by.
I feel like I get the sense that the Goliath is going to be less fuss. So I'm going to go to the Goliath and just...
So you like squeeze your way in between like the patrons that are there, and manage to pull yourself up to the bar.
Yeah, Davari like is all elb when she does this kind of thing, so I think she's busting her way to the front and loudly proclaims, "Gold's not gonna do me much good with the world going to hell," and then slam down 20 gold on the counter. Drinks for as many people as that'll buy.
The Goliath woman is cleaning a glass at the moment, stops for a minute, raises an eyebrow and says, "Well now, you don't see that every day." And puts the drink away, grabs the gold and says, "On the house!" And you hear everyone like, "Yeah!" And turns to you and says, "Well, what might you be looking to poison yourself with tonight?"
Well,
tongue-tied, huh?
Whatever's thick and strong. We need to make a toast.
I can think of a few things that are thick and strong, but let me get you something, honey. And she turns around and grabs a tumbler glass, pulls out a bottle of some dark, sort of more brackish liquor, and pours it in a glass and says, "Rocks or no rocks?"
Do I look like I need things watered down?
Suit yourself, and places it in front of you.
Navari will grab it off the table and wheel around to everybody around her, and yell, "A toast!"
You see the bar kind of like turn to look, and they're like looking at you.
Outside the world might be going to hell, but in here we're all friends. Thank goodness we have the strong arm of the city keeping us all safe and in line. Cheers to them. But I am a thief and I have thieves' cant. And so I would like to slide in thieves' cant something along the lines of freedom over tyranny.
Okay. You see a lot of the patrons at first are with you and then kind of are
Free alcohol.
yeah, pretty much. They're okay, make a perception check.
Oh, I am good at those. It's investigation I'm terrible at. All right.
Okay.
Oh,
20.
20.
You scanning the room, you notice that a couple of people that are kind of sitting at a table, sort of at the back, sort of minding their own business, sort of give you a slight nod at the end, but then go back to their drinks and continue a conversation. And the noise, once you've toasted, sort of picks back up in the bar, and you see people coming up to the bar or talking to the waiters and waitresses coming around, asking for their free on the house rounds and stuff like that. What are the rest of you doing as Navari does this?
Is there a stage in this bar?
There is, but not sort of an off to the side stage. You see at the back, there is a curtain and an actual stage. Right now it's closed, but it is what you assume to be an actual performing stage.
I will try to find whoever looks like the person who I need to ask in order to see if I can play for the bar.
Make an insight check.
I'm great at those now. After losing my proficiency.
Natural 1 for 4.
Natural 1. There it is.
Lots of people work here. You could ask any one of them. I mean, they're all working hard, and there's a lot of people in this place. You don't notice anyone that seems like more of an owner or manager or anything like that than anyone else.
I'll walk up to the Goliath woman.
Yeah, okay, so you kind of sidle up just off to the side from Navari, and she looks over at you. She serves a couple of people and finally looks up at you. Well now, You look like a pretty flower right out of place. What are you doing here, honey?
I'm actually looking to make a little bit of coin.
Oh, are you now?
I'll just.
I'm not
reach into-
sure the Lolita look will work on the crowd here, but you can try it.
Oh, when did this become a fashion style?
Wait.
And I'm just gonna pull out the violin and just. No, I play music.
That's how it starts, honey. You gotta start with something, right?
I suppose I'm very confused. Are you?
You wanna get up on the stage and shake your wares for the crowd?
I don't know why I would shake my instruments, but I could shake them if that's what you do in this establishment.
If you're looking to make a bit of coin on that stage, you're gonna want to talk to Scalanis. He's over there.
Okay, and is she pointing
She
at
points
the
to the
orc,
half-orc,
or-
yeah.
The half-orc? Okay. I will... thank you. And I'll just, very confused, start walking over to the half-orc.
Okay. You head over to him, and at this point he's like handed out the tower of drinks and is sort of like wiping down the bar, and he says, "Gentlemen, do remember to tip your server. After all, the drinks may be on the house, but the entertainment isn't." And as you walk over, he says, "Well, aren't you a fine little thing walking into this establishment?"
I was hoping to I saw your stage, and Oriana's just like flustered at this point. with all
Well,
what's going on.
you want to perform. I
I'm-
am interested. And you see him place his elbows on the bar and just look at you. And he kind of he scans you like a look. You don't get the sense of, you don't even need to insight detect this. You don't get the sense of he's scanning you for, like, in a sexual way. He is, like, giving you a once over of, like, do you have it kind of thing. Like, do you even interest me in terms of, like, your dress, your personality, your everything? Like, does he think you have anything? It's less of he's just trying to, like, size you up. But he kind of, like, looks you up and down.
Can I quick look, like, the servers, are they all dressed a specific way? Or are they just all kind of in plain clothes?
No, they are all, like, go to Hooters. And, like, they know how to get more money because they know how to serve. And if you go to any bar where you want decent tips, actually, you will mostly find a lot of bars, just in general, IRL, have a lot of female servers because that is what brings in a lot of money. Similarly to clubs, women get in first a lot of times before men do. But it is very much like they are showing off their goods, and there are just as many like female presenting as male presenting as androgynous servers here. They are all very good looking, but they also know how to show off what they have to entice people to buy alcohol and food. And as the night goes on and people get a bit looser, it's a little bit easier. So yes, you get the sense like they're all wearing like very flowing sort of, blouses, like deep cut shirts, like sort of like some of the women are wearing like mini skirts, some are wearing very tight like black pants that showcase some nice curves. Similarly, some of the male presenting waiters are have like deep cut like a tank top or like one of those like blouses that like deep cuts like V all the way down to sort of almost like the belly button. And some of them also have very like skin tight pants on, because some of them have very nice rear assets, and some also have interesting frontal packages that they like to showcase that are interesting to some patrons. Some people just like a good show, so they know exactly how to work it to get what they need, and flow through the crowd. And none of them seems to be at all uncomfortable. Like, they all seem to like almost be naturals at this. They know how to work this place. But that is what you notice.
Oriana regrets every life choice that has brought her to this moment.
And as you sit there and he finish scanning you, he goes, "Well, if you want to get on that stage, I suppose I can allow you to, but you've better give me something good."
Well, I'm a musician. I could just hold out the violin.
Honey. Are you planning to play classical music in my establishment?
I look at the violin.
And he literally says, "I think I need to show you how it's done." And he walks around the bar and walks up to the stage, and the curtains open. You watch like the entire bar turns. And you see them all, and everyone starts to begin to cheer and holler and hoot. And this half-orc gentleman grabs the curtains, opens them up, and then you see him go back and fiddle with something, and you watch as these lights just like light up and start to go in like Technicolor and strobe, and you hear music begin to pick up, and it is like heavy beat music, and you watch as this half-orcish gentleman begins to sing and dance and rile up the crowd, and he walks through, and I mean, like, he is singing like think of like It's Raining Men. Like, that is, he is walking around, he is flirting with people as he sings, as this beat is going, as the lights are going, playing it up, and he just has the crowd in the palm of his hand. And you watch as some people, as he's singing, are like tucking like gold pieces into his pockets and into like the pouch at his belt, some into his like pants, and he is just playing it up for the crowd, and after a few minutes he finishes from dancing and singing, and you just the bar goes absolutely wild, and you actually see even some money being like thrown at the stage. And at the end, he just says, Thank you. Oh, you're so kind. We may have a new performer tonight, but I was just giving a little test run, of course. So just give us a moment, and we'll see if we've got something special for you all tonight. And
Oriana's pulling out the cover. Abort mission.
And he begins to walk back down the stage and steps back behind the bar. And you see a bunch of people like pat him on the back. A couple of people give him a couple swats on the rear end, which he doesn't pay any attention to. But he walks back sort of around, and he says, "So, honey, You think you can do that?
One moment, sir. I'm just going to step over here for a moment, and I'm just gonna try and like get lost in the crowd a bit.
Okay. So as you're kind of like doing that, I'm going to go to Zavrin, Rena. What are you doing while all of this is occurring?
Well, when he does that initial toast, Zavin will scan the crowd to see if anybody was like hesitating a little bit. He won't know the thieves can't, but he'll know that you're going to do something to draw attention, so he'll see who's.
Make an
not just
insight
like,
check
"Ah."
for me.
Okay.
Okay, with a 17. When the initial toast was happening, you saw the whole bar like get ready to raise their glasses, and as Navari first spoke, like everyone was like ready to raise their glass, and then as she started to talk about like the city and like playing up like the guards and stuff, you saw a lot of them kind of like hesitate, but this is like everyone kind of hesitating because they're like, I don't understand. And then at the end they're like, yeah, okay, the guards have been doing an okay job, sure. But I think it's like you got the sense of a lot of these people are wondering whether Navari is some kind of like undercover cop. Trying to like, because that's just a weird thing to do in the middle of a place like this. So you didn't really pick out anyone that specifically like pinged, but you did get the sense that just this overall crowd is kind of like they're here for a reason. They're in this place for a reason. They're probably not like the hoity-toity high society of Sunshield City. And a lot of them probably have skeletons in their closets that they don't want anyone to know, and they come to a place like this to like let loose and have a good time. So that's kind of the sense that you get from just that initial scan of the room quickly as the toast was going on.
Hey, Muscles.
Hmm?
If we like look at all these people here, who do you think would look not the seediest, because that would be too easy. Who would look the third seediest?
What?
Like sketchy, like like you don't trust them. Use your intuition.
Well, honestly, I'm a bit in a culture shock with this place. There's a lot here that I have never seen before. I'm a little distracted, but can I like look around and see if I see anyone that I think might look shady?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you see a woman kind of sitting with a couple of other people at a table, and they seem to be having drinks and like conversing, but you do see her eyes sort of shift a few times to like various areas of the bar and the staff and things like that. And I mean, she could be seedy. She could be she's not the seediest, but she's a bit shifty.
Well, I'll tell him. Well, Rolla, there's several people in here that look a little shady, but that lady over there, she seems a little shifty. That's just my opinion. But again, there is several people that could be shady, but she seems to be having a little secrety conversation with the other people sitting with her, maybe zone in on that, but she could be shady for a different reason, not involving the shadow thing.
But we've got to go talk and mingle and have all sorts of fun here.
And Rena kind of like looks over some of the people, like kind of stands up just a little taller to look over. I think I would rather stay by Oriana. She looks very uncomfortable.
And at this point, you watch.
uncomfortable.
This is when the half orc, gets up on the stage and starts performing.
Are you going to be all right if I just keep an eye on books?
Yeah, I love taverns, and this is my kind of place. This is fantastic.
Right. Well, if you need me, then you whistle, and I will hear. Give
Okay.
like a double whistle, like a double whistle. Okay, don't do double whistle. You'll get my attention. You'll figure it out. And then she'll kind of start like shouldering
Okay.
her way through to just go over near Oriana, just to kind of at least be close.
Mhm.
But on her way, she's gonna totally be like, "I want my free drink," and she'll just kind of like do
Yeah.
this with like her hand and then take her drink.
Yeah, easily enough from the Goliath woman. She just asks what you're interested in and easily gets you a drink of whatever you're.
Brennan wants something like a honey mead, like some sweeter.
Okay, yeah. So pick your poison. She provides for you. And you grab it. And keep an eye on Oriana.
Mm-hmm.
Zavrin, are you continuing to your kind of like left, kind of like standing?
Got ditched. That's okay.
Yeah, off to the
How's
side.
my magic feeling? Do I feel it in my
Right now,
bones?
you feel okay. Like you
Let's
don't
do it.
feel you don't feel any disconnect
do it.
from your power. Okay, what are you
And,
doing?
Make my way to that table with the lady, with the shifty-eyed lady.
Mm-hmm.
And on my way there, I'm gonna, as if there's like a bartender or somebody bringing by like a tray of drinks, I'm gonna try to grab some drinks on the sly on my way over there to present to this table as a gift.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand for me. Yeah, you go to grab a couple of drinks, and this female server kind of like feels the tray shake, and then like as they're kind of like in your hand, she just turns and she says, "Are you planning to help?"
They were free on the house, I heard.
No, that's not quite how it works.
Apologies, I'll stack them up really nicely and then back
If you'd
away.
like your free drink, you have to go up to the bar, probably, or sit at a table and order. And we'll bring
Thank
one to you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And she smiles at you, and she's just like looking at you expectantly.
Back away, not today. Just go lady to the bar. And
Okay.
then go up to Navari and go, Navari, there's some.
She
people-
turns from you, kind of giving you a bit of a like cut eye. Go ahead and make an insight check. You got the sense that she was expecting a tip because she didn't just clock you as attempting to just grab someone's order, but she doesn't say anything. But that's the sense that you get. But she goes and continues to wait the tables. Sorry, you were saying something to Navari?
Disappear into the crowd and end up at the bar next to Navari.
Mm-hmm.
Navari, there's a lady with shifty eyes over there. You're muted.
Yeah.
Was that the group I clocked earlier?
No.
No. I'll like sort of gesture with my head over to the other group as well and say, yep, not the only table. Lean right into Zavrin, so that you're the only one who can hear me. It says, I said more. I said more in subtext than I did out loud. No doubt we've attracted a little bit more attention that are willing to show themselves right now.
I'll establish a telepathic speech with you so we don't have to exchange words verbally.
Okay. So you use your telepathic speech and begin speaking
Navari-
in Navari's head.
Navari winces every time you do this. She hates it. Yeah, so if we're telepathically linked, they'll say, there's a secret language among thieves, and I slipped in there. Maybe a little something along the lines of freedom over tyranny.
Oh, nice. Did you catch anyone wincing at that or anything?
Well, you said there was a table nearby, and I've got one across the bar over there. How do you think we could play this? We could either enjoy our night and leave and see if they follow, or we can engage directly.
I was gonna go talk and then see how they feel about, the kingdom and everything else that's going on, and then see if I can flicker just a little bit of magic, just a little bit, sprinkle that magic in there and see how they react.
Yeah, all right. You do you. I'm gonna play coy. Stir up a little trouble. This is just a Friday night, and see if I can't get someone to stab me, or invite me to a secret society. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, good luck and let me know. Well, I guess he won't say that out loud because he'll just so to anybody else watching, is just pointing at his head and pointing at yours.
All right. At this point, I think Navari's going to order and grab 2 separate drinks just for her.
Yeah, you get the sense with that
yell,
20 gold you put down, you have no issue with drinks for the rest of the night.
And yell, music!
And you hear just from over the way after the performance, it's on its way, honey.
Rena's like, you got this, Oriana. Go play your drums.
And again turns to you and says, so... Oh, do you have performance anxiety?
Shy.
I could do a duet with you if you really want to.
No,
that is what you need,
No,
of course. And he grabs your hands and begins to pull you up onto the stage. He says, okay, I don't usually do this, but you're looking a little green around the gills. So, okay, so, what do you know?
Oriana will list off half a dozen classical music pieces, probably a couple of sea shanties from when she was on the pirate ship.
No, this is not going to work. Okay, how about this? You just stand there. I'll make you look good. And he literally goes back, turns on the lights again. Everyone again instantly eyes on you, puts a spotlight on you, and begins singing again. And this is more like an I Will Survive, think. And he's like, at first I was afraid, I was petrified, and goes into the song and starts pointing at you. And what he's gonna do with you, if anyone knows this reference, is literally you are like Cloud from FF7 Remake. You are stuck in this dance number.
Oh no.
So I need you, as he's kind of getting you to move, to make a performance check, please.
Oh god.
Initially with disadvantage, because you are not prepared for this.
Oh, but that's part of the show, isn't it? It's supposed to be bad on the first one.
I don't think we need declared for healing. We need
21 with disadvantage.
21. So with the 21, somehow you're able to find the rhythm, and he's quite a good lead. And he begins to lead you around the stage and then leads you off of the stage as he's singing. And it is flawless from him, like as if he probably does do this almost every night, but like knows the words, knows the moves, knows everything. And at this point is just teaching you as you go along. And he kind of at one point kind of like swings you up to stand on one of the patrons' tables, and they all like grab their drinks off and are like watching in excitement. I need you to make another performance check, this time straight, as you are having an easier time with the help of him.
Okay.
Need the clerics for guidance, not healing.
And
26.
with a 26, you continue to dance, and he kind of like lets go of you for a minute and gives you a moment to kind of like do your own thing. And you do, and you watch as again the gold pieces begin to like tuck into your shoes and your boots and into your like waist belt, and as you like do a little dip, and then he pulls you off of the table and dances you sort of around and through the crowd, as you all continue, and you get a bit more money sort of tucked into your blouse and various other pockets and things like that. And he, of course, is getting it as well. And then as he's like finishing the number, I need one more performance check from you. With a 29, he does like almost like a swing dance move and like throws you up. And you trust in that he knows what he's doing. You kind of like tuck and roll your body, and he manages to catch you and end the number, and the crowd just goes absolutely wild as you kind of finish. And as he kind of picks you up, he says, "See, honey, it wasn't so bad. You're actually pretty good. If only you'd deal with the nerves. That's going to be a problem in your career, so handle that, okay?" And kind of walks off the stage and leaves you standing like center stage as people are still kind of clapping a little bit, and then going back to their drinks, and it's getting later in the night and people are getting rowdier, but
she'll like do a quick little curtsy as he's going off the stage, and then just like
as you curtsy, a few coins just tink 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 onto the stage.
She doesn't even bother picking them up. She just starts walking.
Okay.
Brenna's doing this like, that was so good. You did good job.
That was
Who
the most
knew you had it in you?
That was the most terrifying thing I've ever done. And I've
cannot-
been into 3 ruins of Thurstone.
I cannot wait to tell your mother.
Please don't. Please don't tell my mother.
But she would be so proud of you. You're outside of your comfort zone and everything. Oh, you dropped a few coins. You get them.
And as you pick them out, you notice that you have about 13 gold and 4 silver.
Okay. 13 gold. And 4 silver. Cool.
And as you're standing there, like a few patrons come up to you and are just like, "Amazing job," and give you like kudos. You see like a couple of the patrons just like, one gives you like a little pinch on the butt, and tells you like, "Very good."
Because she would have
Yep.
been like, slap.
Yep.
No touching.
Ooh.
Respectful, please.
I think
But
Bari would shove the second drink that she's been carrying around at you.
at
And,
Oriana, do you just like straight down it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She is like full on, just raw nerves and panicking.
Oh.
Okay.
I need you to make a Constitution save for me, please.
Yeah, I figured.
It is very strong liquor.
That's not right. I should have proficiency in con saves. Let me fix that. There we go.
Okay.
18.
It it's very strong, but you manage to chug it back and take it. You feel the warmth sort of spread through you, but you're okay. You get another couple of people coming by and just like giving you congratulations, saying you were amazing, and like thanks for the performance.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And then a couple of people come up to you and are like, I love your hair, the outfit, interesting, but it's a choice.
What's their outfit? What's my outfit?
No, it's fine. I mean, it's just, I you know, if you're trying to attract a certain amount of attention, it's perfect. I guess you like older men? It's fine. Anyway, it's okay. But great performance. Maybe we'll see a little bit more from you later in the night. And then they like go off and like mingle with the rest of the crowd. You see it's getting like busier and busier in here as the evening goes on. But yes.
Oriana just like leans over towards her. Cade does not hear about this at all. Okay?
I'm making no
He is an older man.
I know he's an older man. That's why she's saying he hears nothing of this.
Can't tell anything.
That is no way I'm not saying something to some people. Let's just put that down right now.
I will figure out how to make you silent for the rest of your life if you try to tell.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You can't tell anybody anything you can't remember.
What?
Are you? Oh, a few more of those and we might get you on the stage again.
As good as magic.
No, we are not doing that. We are not doing that.
Oh, you're overreacting. They love you. Anyway.
You may not know this, but I am also an alchemist.
That's all right. That's all right.
Alchemist, what you? This was news to me. We've known each other for months. How have I not known this?
And Rena's looking around. Where is Roller?
Where are you at this point, Zavrin?
After getting at least one drink to not be socially awkward, he'll head to the bar with shifty eyes.
You're going over to the table where Shifty Eyes is. Okay, you head over to the table. She is sitting with another female and two males. And you are standing there for a moment, but I mean, I'll allow you to like say how you would approach this, because I'm not going to say you're just going to stand there awkwardly. Like, it's up to you if that's what you want to do, sure. But like, how are you approaching this table? Because they are sitting together and like conversing.
I'll try to time it so there's like a slight lull in the conversation, and then as they have a lull in the conversation, I'll lean in with my drink and go, "Hi there. A little bit by myself. Mind if I join you this evening?"
She kind of like looks over at you, kind of like looks you up and down, and says, "Sure, pull up a chair."
And I am going to use Mage Hand to pull up a chair. It's invisible because I have the feet.
Right. And she like they all kind of look as they see this, and they're like,
Wow.
Interesting. I'd be careful with that.
Oh, what's a good night at the tavern without a few tricks?
Well, I do like a trick or two.
Oh, I'll have to hear about that later.
Oh, so forward. Is that where we're going? You need to buy me a drink first.
Of course, not a problem. And he'll flick his wrist up and just get just enough of a spark to attract the attention of a server.
Okay, easily enough. One of the waiters comes by and takes your order. You just order her, like, she probably just wants like a wine or something like that. So asks you, it tells you it's like a silver.
I'll buy it for the whole table.
Okay.
Tip
Okay,
him
so
a
then,
gold, in case it's the person I had.
Yeah, no,
earlier.
I mean, you more than easily enough. The whole table can be like, and still have tip left over for the waiter, and thanks you, and orders their drinks and heads off to go to the bar to get them filled. Well, I don't often get to meet such a handsome stranger every evening.
Oh, I try. It was a little wacky speech earlier, though, from that tiefling, though. Am I right about the city and stuff?
Yeah, we don't usually get those types in here, but I've not seen her around, so... I mean, it is true that we are getting a lot of people from a lot of places.
A bit of a downer, though.
It really was, which is probably why we were all kind of wondering what was going on. I mean, look, I am happy that I am protected, because what is happening out there is a bit fucked up. But it's not every day that you, like, say, like, rah rah city guard. It's just a kind of a weird thing to toast. You would think you would toast, like, hey, we're not all dead, let's live it up a little, or something, you know?
Yeah, those beasts are nuts, and then that on top of the other guys that are just blowing things up. That like what's going on? I'm new to this.
They've
city,
been
and
around
this
for a
is
while,
crazy.
though.
I haven't been here in years, and this is crazy.
Oh, but do you remember, if you were here, you probably remember, well, I guess, were you just visiting?
I'm just visiting for now, yes. But last time I was here was like 10, 15 years ago. It's quite different now.
She, like, looks at you again, and she goes, oh, were you a baby when you were last here?
A little bit older.
How old are you?
How old do I look?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell with those of elven nature, and I just want to make sure that this is an adult conversation, because I am not looking to be arrested.
I will have you know, I am 25, right? I'm 26. 26.
You're not lying, right?
I'll look at her in the eye and kind of insinuate I'm not lying.
Okay.
With my glare.
Okay. Just trying to make sure. It's a thing. I have heard horror stories from friends. So.
Of underage people going to bars and doing naughty bits or doing bad things?
Well, I mean, when you can't tell the age of someone and certain things happen, even if they're consensual, there are laws. So, just making sure I'm not gonna, you know. But I appreciate the candidness. So, you said you just came back because of what happened?
Yeah, family just had to make sure they're safe, and you know, with everything else going on, I figured it's as good a time as any to see them.
I see. Oh, well then, I mean, if you're asking about those people, you if you lived here before, you would know them. But I guess they have been kind of worse lately.
Yeah, I've heard they're like blowing things up. No, I don't remember that.
Oh my God! You work for them?
I don't. No, not at all.
Am I gonna get to learn all of your magic tricks?
I'm gonna break my telepathic speech with Navari and do it with this woman instead, and say, "No, I'm afraid not." In her head, but like press my temple, even though like that doesn't actually do anything. But he'll
like
do it.
She just like looks back and she goes, and she's gonna like try and project a thought, and she's gonna be like, "Hello."
Do I hear that? Did she actually?
Yeah, because she can write the telepathic speech. Like she doesn't know how to work, so she's just like, "Hello."
And I'll respond, "Hello," again.
I don't know how this works, but are you like gonna explode my head or something?
No, of course not. That'd be disgusting, and
Well, I'm
there's no way of doing it.
What's going on?
We're having a conversation. I just wanted to show you that I'm not going to steal your thoughts.
Okay. Can I get up and go now?
Of course, anytime. And he'll break the telepathic speech and stop looking at her.
She
for-
like looks at her friends and she's like, I have to go now. This has been a wonderful night. Bye. And like gets up from the table quickly and jets out of the bar.
She didn't even get her drink. Well, don't let it go to waste.
And they like her three friends just kind of like glare at you. And you see the two men and they're like as they're like getting they're putting their own money on the table and they're like getting themselves up and they're like, you should probably go somewhere else. And you see them get up, or you see one of them get up and sort of like go after the woman. The other two are kind of like waiting to just make sure everything is kosher at the table, but they kind of like give you side eye. As you basically were the creepy dude that made their friend just dart off from the table.
Good.
You get that sense.
Gain notoriety in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I apologize for disrupting your evening. And he'll just...
And you just see the guy lean over and he goes, generally, this establishment doesn't judge. But if you did anything with your gifts to my friend, I'd be worried.
Oh, is that a threat?
It's more than a threat.
Oh, do tell.
He just sits back and keeps his eye on you as the waiter comes by and they finish paying out their tab and then
Oh,
get
I'm
ready
gonna
to-
100% detect thoughts on this guy as he's glaring at me.
Okay.
And I'll spend a sorcery point so I can do it without use my hands or anything. Just use my brain.
Okay. Are you just doing the surface level?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just post it? Because I just want to make sure what I give you.
Post like a small novel.
Yeah, it's fine. You initially learn the surface of what it is on its mind. In this moment, you get the sense of this guy better not have violated my friend. I don't know who the fuck this is. This dude's a creep. He came over to our table. Our friend was fine. And now either he touched her or he did something to her. It better have not been any kind of assault. If I find this out, it doesn't matter that there are sanctions in this bar. I will have the guards here in 5 minutes. And that's what you get.
A mental assault.
Yeah. And you also injected yourself into her mind without consent. So imagine what you just did to someone.
She was curious about magic and wanted to know if I did it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to be curious without violating someone's mind. So, but that's he doesn't know that that's what you did. He just knows what he saw from his friend. Her behavior go from like flirty and getting to know you to looking terrified, getting up from the table and darting out of the bar. And they've never met you before. They've not got your name or anything like that. So that's what you get from his surface level thoughts.
Better that they don't know my name at this point.
Yeah, probably. But your garb is very distinguishable. You wear a lot of fun colors and things like that. But anyway, you get the sense that this is a dark space. They're just getting ready to pay their tab and get out and go check on their friend.
Fair enough. And I'll use that cue to back away into the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you get up from the table and you back away. And And as you do, just like the last surface level thought you get is just him clocking your description in case.
Good. Pass it around.
All right. You eventually see them get up from the table. Navari, how many drinks have you had at this point?
I need to keep my head about me, so I've been sloppily drinking the one drink.
Okay.
Um,
Oriana, Navari, and Rena, go ahead and make a perception check.
$14.
Okay.
18.
18 for Navari. Okay. Navari, you're kind of keeping an eye just over the bar in general. You do notice Zavrin sit down at this table, this woman go beelining out, this sort of like private conversation, the two like flagging down the waiter, the man sort of, one of the men backing up and going after his friend who's just run out, and then the two like flagging down the waiter to get to finish their tab, and then you eventually see Zavrin sort of get up and back away from the table and flit about into the crowd, but you're the only one who kind of notices that interaction.
I'll lean into Rena and say, are we dancing? I think our friend struck out.
Yeah, sure. There's music.
I don't know. I didn't notice. What happened?
Not sure, but I don't think Zavrin's tactic is working. I think it's my turn to try my thing.
We could always have Oriana try. It seems everybody in here likes her.
Nine. Oriana is kind of like a little like, I shouldn't have drank that so fast.
Mm-hmm.
9?
Well,
we're not doing that
Oriana.
again. That is not a thing we are doing again. That we're never doing that again. You're never even going to talk about that again.
Never say never.
No, always say never. Always say never.
Well, should I go check on Roller?
If you could do me a favor, I've already made a spectacle of myself. I've got the attention of a group across the way. Now I have to look like I've got nothing left to lose. That's how you get invited to secret societies. So you just deck me?
Do you want me to hit you in the face?
Oh yeah.
All right. Are you sure?
The more we talk about it, the more I'm not.
Arlie, don't worry. I will leave my mask on. And she'll be like, looking at you like, are you really sure?
Just
all right. And then while she's trying to think about it, I'll throw a punch.
Okay.
Just to catch her off
All right,
guard.
go ahead
that she's
and
not,
throw an unarmed
flinching.
strike for me.
How the hickety hack do I do that in here?
Am I effectively being caught flat-footed because I'm letting it?
Yeah, this is more to see, like, I mean, there's a lot going on in this bar. This is more to see if Rena it's less to see. It should just
Rolls
be in
a
your
one, punches
sheet.
the person next to you.
I see a bazillion weapons. Where's
Uh,
unarmed?
It should just be under your. Oh, you have a lot of. It's
Should
probably.
be the last attack.
Yeah,
It might
I
not
don't
have
think.
a default on there.
Yeah, it's not
Mm.
default on Rena's sheet. Hang on, let's do this. So just roll a d20 plus 5. No, plus 7. Sorry. And then I'll add this.
Okay. Can I type 1d20 plus 5?
Yeah, so forward slash R space 1d20 plus 5.
I'm not even gonna hit you. I'm distracted. I'm rolling really bad today. I feel like I need to restart the roll 20 because this is awful. Feels like my 4th 3.
Hang on, I'm just.
Maybe it just means I won't hit you hard.
I could ham it up.
So yeah, you go to hit Navari, and Navari, you kind of like there's just lights and music and like all of this stuff happening. Rena, and there, I've added it into your sheet now.
Okay.
But you are gonna probably miss, and Navari, you kind of have to like dance to like get in the way of the fist.
Okay.
I didn't want to
So
hit
go
you.
go ahead, and I need you to make a performance.
This could just be embarrassing. Nat 20.
Okay, for a 22. So yeah, you like managed to like suavely use your sort of dexterity to put yourself in the path, and luckily don't take any damage because you're literally doing like the wrestling like show of, oh yeah, this is actually happening, and you go like down to the ground, and it's make it super believable, and the Goliath woman behind the bar looks up and says, "Well, we don't have that kind of stuff in here. What's going on?"
She deserved it.
For what?
Navari's getting up and like just playing as sloppy as she can, drink spilling everywhere, tumbling into people around her.
I think both of y'all might need to take some time outside.
This whole city needs to take time outside.
Rena's
Right.
just like,
Wait,
to
don't leave me alone in
Navari.
here!
The Goliath like wipes her hands and like steps around the bar and says, "Now either, honey, you're gonna come quietly or nicely. Quietly doesn't really matter. Or I'm gonna drag you along by your horns."
I don't want to get dragged by my horns.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm leaving, and I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, like she like lets you start to walk out and is looking at you, Navari.
I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated, not a dump like this.
"Bye, Oriana. Have fun."
Why are you going
then
leaving me?
she's like
and
watching.
she just like gently places a hand on your back to like help lead you out because you're acting like you're really drunk off your rocker. So she's like, "Come on, let's get you out into some night air. Maybe that'll clear up your mind a bit."
Oh, hey, have we met before?
Right. There's always you
right.
types, you refugees coming in here and getting drunk off your rocker and causing trouble. I can't blame you, though. Y'all been through too much. Kind of like leads you out the door, and
Rena's outside just stretching, like, that was fun.
and into the
Good
night. She
time.
kind of like, yeah, she like looks at you a little bit, and like places Davari you against the side, and she says, "You now find your way back to wherever you're staying. Get some rest. Have a good night." Turns
Thank you.
around
Have
and
good
heads,
night. Bye.
and heads back in. So you guys are outside. Oriana and Zavrin are still inside. And we had 2 very long sessions the last 2 weeks, and I've had a week. So I think this is the perfect time to end our session for tonight. So thank you, everyone, for sticking with us, for joining us for the shenanigans. We will pick up in the heat of the dive bar show investigation of whatever they're trying to figure out for next week. But we hope you enjoyed. Please remember, if you liked us and enjoyed our session, share with fellow D&D lovers. The best way to help our stream grow is to spread the word. And remember, folks, it is nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Have a great Friday. Make good choices. And we hope to see you back here next week. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the raid.
Yeah, thank you.